Hi there, what's your name?
George Kaufman.
Hi George. You're out to go on a hike today to see the Bordner Cabin, is that right?
Yes, I am.
Is it the first time you're going to see it?
Many, many times I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your first encounter with the Bordner Cabin?
Well, I was working with Mr. Bordner when we were purchasing land here.
And who is we?
Well, the Department of Environmental Resources then.
So DCNR today?
Yeah, DCNR today. But they purchased the land, started buying back in 1970, 71, 72. And I moved here in 1972, actually lived in the park, and really was the first superintendent here at the park back in 72. Moved in right after the flood, the Agnes. So yeah, I learned to know more. Mr. Bordner, worked very closely with him at times. He really wasn't in favor of purchasing the cabin, but eventually he agreed to it, and I think he agreed to it with life tenancy, if I remember correctly.
So you worked on purchasing the park, and tell me what you can about Mr. Bordner.
Well, I learned to know him. Yeah, he was a shop teacher at Northern Lebanon High School, and he really built, he and his wife really built the cabin from scratch, and he took a lot of pride in what he did there, and particularly the fall. I can remember the falls behind the cabin. That was an area of beauty. It was just a real nice area, but he had a lot of pride in what he did there, and rightly so.
Do you have a problem with the cabin at its current location?
Oh no, it's great. Yeah.
Okay.
It should be preserved for historical purposes, really. I mean, Mr. Bordner was known throughout the northern end of the county, you know, in what he did and what he taught, and many students went to him, and so I know they'll remember him. And the history of that cabin should be, you know, brought forth, and so people can enjoy what happened and know what happened there in the past.
And can you tell me, I know there was a little bit of a problem because of eminent domain. Can you talk about that? Is that something you're comfortable talking about?
Well, you know, and we still have eminent domain in the state of Pennsylvania. Very seldom used anymore, but most of the parks purchased with Project 70 money were purchased through eminent domain, and this was one of them. And a lot of people were opposed to that, and still are opposed to it, but if we wouldn't have had that ability to buy property in that way, we probably would never own this park here. So there was a lot of dissatisfied people, unhappy people when we purchased this land, and even afterwards, after we bought the land, it stood for years before anything was done to it, and that brought a lot of dissension from the local people, and particularly the relatives whose families had to move from the park and saw nothing happening as a result.
And specifically with Armar Bordner, he fought the state, and what happened there?
Well, he really, he got, if I remember correctly, he got, the property was bought, he got the rights to stay there as long as he lived.
So there was a compromise reached to accommodate?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. I like that story.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.